Firstly, I'd like to offer you all a very warm welcome back after the half-term holiday. It seems a bit of a distant memory now, doesn't it, with 5 days and a busy week behind us. But during that time, our intrepid Kingswood House ski party, comprising of 74 people, that's pupils, parents and staff, past and present, led by Mr. Clark, enjoyed a fabulous time on and off the piste, by the sound of it, in Fieschi in Switzerland. I'm really pleased that this trip was able to take place. I'm so glad to hear all of the positive messages of support and thanks from all of the parents to Mr. Clark afterwards. It seems as though everyone had a terrific time and almost everybody returned in one piece. So thank you very much to Mr. Clark and all of the accompanying staff for getting that underway and making sure that everyone had such a super time. Back at school, on Shrove Tuesday, it was lovely to see the lower prep pupils embroiled in making their own pancakes. They looked, and I'm sure they tasted, absolutely delicious. The problem, of course, with Shrove Tuesday is that it is rapidly followed by Ash Wednesday, which is symbolic for the start of Lent. And in the spirit of trying to be a good role model for the school community, I have decided to make the ultimate sacrifice this year and give up crisps. And for anyone who knows me, that is going to be an ordeal, a real labour of love, because there is nothing more I like to relax at the weekend to dip into a bag of salt and vinegar squares. They are my absolute favourite, usually accompanied by a healthy G&T. But alas, for the next 40 days or so, that is going to be out of reach. So I hope that you're all giving some thought as to how you can symbolise Lent. Even if you are not a Christian, I think it is very much an important thing to be able to show mental strength and fortitude, and of course to forego something that you like, because then of course you have even more to look forward to on Easter Sunday. Well done to all of our Year 8 pupils who have had their exam week this week. I've been very impressed with your perseverance and your resilience. So I only hope that your results bear testimony to your hard work. And of course, one of the outcomes of exams is that you will always have things to work on. So please make sure that you set yourself some achievable targets following those exam results for the rest of the year, which will of course inform your GCSE options, which are coming up later in the term. This morning we've had a really busy open morning here at school. We've had over 40 families come to see us. The school is looking fantastic, and of course our pupils, as ever, are excellent ambassadors, and we were in receipt of some excellent commentary from visitors already, so that all goes extremely well. This evening, I would like to thank in advance Tasnim Shafiq and Jean Towers for the KHA, because they've organised a busy quiz night. I wish all teams the very best of luck, and I think it's about time that the pedagogues reclaimed the scalp of the parents' team. So I'm looking forward to that and hope to see many of you there. And a reminder that it is, of course, World Book Day next Thursday. That usually begets lots of colourful costumes, and I'm sure that next week will be no exception. In staffing news, I'm very sad to say that Mr. Rajeling is relocating overseas at the end of the summer term together with his partner. He will be sorely missed, but I am also delighted to say that we will be welcoming Bridget Saul to replace him. Bridget is a very experienced head teacher. She's led 2 independent schools, no less. And she's very much looking forward to specialising in MFL, which is her subject of yore, and stepping back from the rigours of leadership, which I can certainly relate to on certain days of the week. She's very much looking forward to joining the school at such an exciting time, and stepping into good old-fashioned teaching again. So Bridget, we look forward to welcoming you to the Kingswood House team in September. Right, let's look at this week's mentions in dispatches. Firstly, well done to Karen in Year 1 for learning a new skill on the skiing trip. Well done to all of Year 1 for their line dancing from Mr. Westcott. Well done to Scarlett Webb for your excellent start to the school. She joined just after half term. And well done to Hattie for being such a good buddy. Maya, well done to you for your good work with fractions. And Aidan, well done to you for your great effort in study centre. Ollie Rosenbaum's making real progress, engaging in his lessons, says Miss Forbes, and Alex Leslie, great effort in French. Well done to Zach Borner, offering to carry Mrs. Bray's books for her after pupil briefing, and Elliot Woosnam being engaged, answering lots of discussion questions in PSHE. Well done to Ben Scudamore for being a fabulous screen printing assistant too for Mrs. Bastable. Josh Graham, excellent knowledge of French verbs, and Dolly Morris just generally exuding happiness. Dolly, I'm so pleased to see that, and Mr. Barrett, great nomination. I can actually endorse that because I saw Dolly during the girls' netball on Wednesday afternoon, and she and indeed all of the girls were absolutely exhilarated. Eddie Bishop, well done for being very consistent with good behaviour, and as the ski instructor reported, perhaps the most polite pupil he has ever taught on the slopes. Well done for being a good role model, Eddie. And Indigo Daisley, well done to you also, who was an excellent ambassador for the school during the ski trip. In advance of Kieran Schmidt's proposed talk to lower prep pupils about online bullying and the Brett Foundation, Mr. Sadare would like to say a massive thank you to him for all of his hard work and putting that forward. And Kieran, well done. That is a really fantastic thing to do, and I look forward to reading all about it in the newsletter next week. Ollie Fry, well done for being enthusiastic, eager to take part in tutor time, says Mrs. Jennings. Pippa Taylor demonstrated every aspect of the Kingswood House way on the ski trip. Despite a broken arm, she still had a wonderful holiday, says Mr. Lordy. And Dylan Newman, well done for having a super week this week, wearing a smile on his face, as indeed I asked all of the children to do upon their resumption of term. Well done to Isaac Gahir, really impressive how you've welcomed Jamie into the form. And 9L, really good improve in organisation, lining up, bags, listening skills overall, setting a good example and the tone for younger students. Well done to Yusuf Masood, always putting his hand up, willing to engage and answer questions, says Mrs. Black. Well done to the Year 9 Frenchies for their great game of pétanque before half term. Sam and Ethan Carroll being very welcoming to new pupils who came in for a taste today, showing them just how kind we are here at KHS. Ibrahim Mohammed, well done to you for your maths work. Josh McCrossan being really focused recently, especially in science. And Toby Cox working extremely well too. Ted Bunny-Rames, even though tired from skiing, has been very positive and in good spirits this week. Ben Hubber, polite and helpful as always, says Miss Patel. And Tarani working really hard in his PE GCSE options, making some good contributions from Mrs. Jennings. Well done to all of the pupils who were in the talk by Jeremy Indica last week. Miss Timothy passed on really good feedback, and Jeremy was extremely impressed by your listening skills. Pete Duncan, 2 nominations for you this week. Firstly, being very helpful, collecting in and reminding others of the need to hand in their history homework in a very unassuming manner, which is, I think, a great leadership skill. Pete again, follow Max Garrett and Jess Dunn for the effort they showed in completing their half-term homework essays in English. Well done to Archie Epron, well done to Archie Epron, who is to be congratulated for achieving a place at Seaford College for his post-16 choices. Fantastic news. Jack Bunny-Rames has started half-term with great enthusiasm and engagement for Mr. March, and well done also to Turret, Nick and Barnaby Hill, Tommy Collins for completing their DV expedition presentations yesterday. Their expeditions have been signed off, and Turret is now just 1 report away from completing his silver award. And finally, Mr. Clark would just like to say a huge well done to absolutely everybody on the ski trip, staff alike, especially Jamie Chatfield, who started the week as a first-time skier, and by the end, he was absolutely fabulous, to quote a well-known TV show. Well, that wraps up a busy week. There's lots to look forward to as ever here at KHS. Things are busy, and that means that we need everybody on side, listening carefully, being in the right place at the right time. It's a team effort, and great communication between home and school always helps. So a big thank you in advance for taking those extra few seconds just to make sure that your son or daughter knows exactly what's going on in those days and weeks ahead. And in the meantime, I wish you a wonderful weekend.